Brought to you by First Merchants Bank. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper.
And Johnson takes a shot, and he scores!
Tonight, Bob McElligott and Dylan Tyrer get you ready for the Columbus Blue Jackets historic matchup tomorrow night. Get the inside scoop as we take it outside. We kick off this special edition of The Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank.
Coming to you live and direct from Ohio Stadium, where tomorrow it is the NHL Stadium Series with the Blue Jackets playing host to the Detroit Red Wings. The Blue Jackets got a chance to come out and experience the stadium today. They had their practice on the rink already. They had their family skate. All of that is just wrapping up, and now the Detroit Red Wings are getting ready for their practice and their skate. But, Dylan, it has been such a fun afternoon. We've been here for hours. I feel like I've been here for 20 minutes because it has just been it's so fun. Everybody is so happy and excited about the game, and the players were really excited about coming out here and seeing what it looked like today.
All of these events that the NHL puts on seem to have that feel, don't they? That you get there, you're like, whoa, this is awesome, and 5 hours goes by, and you're like, wait a second, I thought we've been here for 30 minutes. And yeah, that's the feel today, and there was so much to enjoy, so much to watch. I'm going to tell you right now, the Zambonis are about to come out on the ice. I think that's my favorite part, these mini Zambonis. They're so cool looking. But the players, they were giddy. They were like little kids arriving. You and I actually had the opportunity to be right there when they're walking into Ohio Stadium for the first time. You could see them in the dressing room. They were getting on all their special Stadium Series gear, cutting up their sticks, and all of those guys it was like they were climbing over each other to get out there to see what the ice looked like. And, we had the opportunity to catch up with a few of them after they came back up from looking on the ice, and they're like, oh my God, this is going to be so cool. And, for everybody listening right now, I wish you could be in here when the sun is going down and the stadium lights are coming on. There's an extra special feel to that I think is going to be even cooler than what we've already seen tomorrow night, because we've been here during the day, no lights on, but now with these stadium lights, it looks special. And I'm just picturing all the times that I've been in here for football games, and you see how packed it is with the liveliness inside the shoe, and oh my goodness, it is going to be fun tomorrow.
It is going to be so much fun tomorrow. And as you said, we had a chance to talk to some of the players today. You're going to hear from them throughout the course of this show tonight, but the anticipation, we're finally here. We've been talking about this thing for over a year. Even at the beginning of the season, you knew it was coming on the schedule. You get to Thanksgiving, well, you know it's coming. You get to Christmas, you know it's coming. But man, after that break for the Four Nations tournament and coming out of it last Saturday, it has been a whirlwind. And you're absolutely right about these events that the NHL puts on. I literally felt like this when we've spent the day all over the place here, and we're on the camera deck right below the press box here at Ohio Stadium. And so I was doing some stuff, and I finally went down. Practice had already started, and I walked down to the field for the practice to go watch it right alongside the rink. And immediately when I got there, I ran into Dave Pagnotta from the fourth period, right? Dennis Bernstein, his partner there. Saw those guys immediately. Dan Rosen from NHL.com was standing down there. All these people that you see, as you said, you see them at these events. And when they come up and they talk to you and you say, oh, it's pretty good. I forgot you knew my name. That was, but it's just fun. It is an event, and it's one of those days. This is how I felt when I was down there, right alongside the glass. It's one of those days that reminds you how lucky you are to have the job that you have, to do what you do day in and day out, because this is like any other job. Whatever you do, it gets monotonous at times, and you don't think about all of these things, but you get into this kind of a setting, and you go, you know what? This is really cool.
Well, not even all of that, but the fact that this game means so much tomorrow, it's almost like a one-game playoff in a sense. Like, I know the season goes on after that, but it has that hype and it has that feel as if we were at Nationwide Arena and it was a winner-go-home type deal. Like, the Blue Jackets want to win this game so badly because they're not just playing for themselves. They're not just playing for Columbus. They're playing for Ohio, right? This game is Ohio versus Michigan. It's rivalry renewed, just in a different way than we're used to in this place. And on top of that, it's the winner of the game gets the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. You're in the driver's seat if you win this game. So the Blue Jackets afforded themselves this opportunity with the huge win last night at Little Caesars Arena. That was awesome. It was a dominant win by the Blue Jackets. Now they just have to do it all over again.
All right, let's start hearing from the players, and let's start right at the top. And the guy that got hurt right at the end of training camp, he didn't play a game until just last week, but all of the time that he was injured and he was working to get back, this date was circled on the calendar, March the 1st, knowing that he would have a chance to play outside here at Ohio Stadium. Here's a conversation I had just a bit ago with the captain of the Columbus Blue Jackets, Boone Jenner.
I know you've been out here before. You've been here as a fan. You were here shooting a promo before any of this really was coming to being. What's that been, about a year ago that you were here to do that?
Yeah, probably, about a year ago. I think it was February or March. So to see it all come, and here we are a year later, and it's, you see the ice out there. It's pretty incredible and pretty surreal. So really looking forward to it, and been to a ton of games here, football games, and to play hockey out there is going to be pretty special for us.
Yeah, just think about when you came over here to do that promo. You had to be in your full gear, standing in the middle of the football field, and then they went and they did all the graphics around you to look like the hockey rink. So it was how hot was it that day you came out here? Do you remember?
It's about this temperature, I think. Yeah, maybe a little bit warmer. But, March, you never know in Ohio what kind of weather you're going to get. But, I remember even being here with the team before training camp, and we came here for a football game, and it was hard to picture, an ice rink on that football field. So to see it today, and it looks incredible. So we're just trying to soak it all in, and guys are having fun with it out there.
Have you been watching it online? Like, have you seen pictures of the development here over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, for sure. And a couple of us came over on Tuesday, but it definitely didn't look like it does now. And to see the locker room, see the ice done and finished, and the glassing and everything, it looks a lot different and a lot cooler than I would have even thought. So they did a tremendous job, and it looks, obviously really good.
Coming here as a fan and now being in this locker room that the Buckeyes use, how kind of cool is that for you? I mean, you're a guy that's experienced a lot of things, but I'd imagine this is kind of cool.
No, this is definitely up there. This is my first outdoor game, and to do it here in Columbus, but especially here at the Shoe, where, like you said, I've been to a number of games, football games as a fan, and never got to see a locker room or anything. So to be in here, gearing up for a hockey game or, today at practice is pretty surreal, and just, such a good experience, I guess, and it's definitely up there. And it doesn't happen often in anyone's career, and this being my first, and try to soak it in, but it's been a blast so far.
Can't help but think when you got injured at the end of training camp, right from the get-go, the date was March 1st. And, of course, March 1st is tomorrow for this game. When that happened to you, how important was it to get back to your team? Yes, I get all of that stuff, but to get back to your team and be ready to play in this particular game?
Yeah, it's funny when you get injured, you're kind of circling dates, and definitely this was one early that we circled, and was able to get back before that, which I was pretty happy about. But obviously wanted to be a part of this game with these guys playing out there, and so to be in the spot I'm in now and getting ready to play tomorrow, I'm very happy with and grateful for, and it's just going to be a blast to be a part of it. So. Super excited for the whole weekend.
Have you talked to any of the guys that have played in these outdoor games before to kind of get some sense of what it's going to be like? And I know it's going to be different, way more people than some of these guys have played in front of before, but are you trying to get a sense of it?
Yeah, big time. I think JVR leads the NHL in outdoor games, so he's the guy to ask, and a number of other guys have played in some, so just trying to get the lay of the land. And I mean, to what you said, they said everyone's different, and this one will be special in its own way. And just trying to soak it in, and to get 90,000 people plus, come to a game. It doesn't happen very often for a hockey game, so try to soak all that in.
Yeah, and I wonder, this is what I can't wait to find out, 20,000 people inside with the roof on the building is really, really loud. I wonder what it's going to be like in this building. Have you thought about it?
I've thought about it, but I'm sure it'll be loud. Like I've said, I've been here for football games, and it's loud, and it's a great crowd, great time. So I expect nothing less. I'm sure it'll be bumping out there tomorrow.
What about just this game in general? You guys win last night, so it puts the pressure on the Red Wings. You have a chance to sweep the 2-game series. You have a chance to get 2 more points and improve your playoff standings here. I don't know if you could have hoped for any better situation than what you're going to face in this game.
Yeah, it's a huge game for us, no doubt about it. As we come down the stretch, the games get bigger and bigger, so it's a huge 2 points on the line for us. And I think today you get to get the lay of the land, get to see everything. It's a pretty cool experience, and we'll have the practice and the family skate and enjoy it tomorrow, soak it in, and warm-ups and stuff. But when the puck drops, it's, like you said, it's a huge game for us, and we're looking to come out with a win.
Last thing, when you went to look at the field today, you got to walk down that ramp, the ramp that the Buckeyes walk down before every game here at Ohio Stadium. You did it today in an empty stadium. How much are you looking forward to tomorrow when you walk down there and there's 90,000 people in those seats?
Yeah, I thought of that right away when I was walking down, and it's hard to picture, but you look up in the stands, and I mean, it's a huge stadium, so to picture it full is, I don't know, it's going to be an experience that you can't describe, I'm sure. So really looking forward to that moment, and yeah, there's a lot to soak in here, I guess, but that's definitely going to be a cool experience.
I guess you'll find out if you still get nervous for things.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Boone, thank you so much. Good luck and enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
That is Blue Jackets captain Boone Jenner talking about the experience here at Ohio Stadium on practice day and looking forward to the game tomorrow. Coming down that ramp, as you just heard him talking about, into a full Ohio Stadium. It is going to be a spectacle. There's no doubt about that. Well, you heard the saw in the background during that interview as the players are working on their sticks. The guy that did that was Ivan Provorov. We're going to hear from him next as we continue with this special edition of the Inside Edge, previewing the Stadium Series from Ohio Stadium here on 97.1 The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got a fitting personalized for you. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand your unique lifestyle, your daily routines, and most importantly, the pain that brought you in to see them in the first place. If your feet ache after a long day or that discomfort starts radiating through your knees, your hips, your back, I've been there. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And they're working for me. I walked all over the place in New Orleans covering the big game. I was loving it. I literally was walking for miles around the French Quarter, Canal Street, everywhere, because I had my personally fit arch supports in my shoes. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. I want you to be one of them. Go in, take the free test walk. They're immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or goodfeet.com.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us. Every day feels easy.
You're invited to Circle K's Inner Circle Member Celebration. On March 6th, Inner Circle members across Columbus will get an exclusive 40 cents off per gallon from 6 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. Want to join the party? Just download the Circle K app and create an account to join Inner Circle. Don't miss your chance to save 40 cents off per gallon on March 6th all day. Sign up now. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit the Circle K app for details.
Go beyond your field of study and get a world-class education in leadership. As an Army officer, you'll work side by side with peers who support your growth, and you'll become a role model, mentor, and decision maker in any environment, at any scale. It's a challenging path, but along the way, you'll sharpen your skills and show yourself and those around you exactly what you're capable of. Decide to lead at goarmy.com/officer.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC. Buckeyes lead the way.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
President's Day savings all month long at your main Honda of Dublin. If you're searching for a Honda lease deal here in Central Ohio, you've come to the right place. Leasing allows you to enjoy flexibility in one of their sharp, reliable, awesome vehicles. I'm confident Rich and his team can tailor a lease that's right for you. Like a 2025 CRV LX all-wheel drive for $349 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Bread Financial is proud to be the official financial services partner of your Columbus Blue Jackets. They provide simple, personalized payment, lending, and savings solutions. From the Bread Cashback American Express credit card to high-yield savings and CDs to buy now, make that score now, pay later options, you'll find financial solutions for your budget and your goals, hockey or otherwise. Learn more at breadfinancial.com. And let's go Blue Jackets.
You depend on your roof to keep you safe from all sorts of extreme weather. That's why with Fiesel, you get quality and integrity every time we build a new roof, including the best in the industry lifetime warranty on all labor and materials. No guesswork, no gimmicks, just solid craftsmanship. The details matter. That's why you hire Fiesel. Go to FieselInc.com and get $1,000 off your next roof. That's FieselInc.com. Some restrictions apply.
Bread Financial is proud to be the official financial services partner of your Columbus Blue Jackets. They provide simple, personalized payment, lending, and savings solutions. From the Bread Cashback American Express credit card to high-yield savings and CDs to buy now, make that score now, pay later options, you'll find financial solutions for your budget and your goals, hockey or otherwise. Learn more at breadfinancial.com. And let's go Blue Jackets.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Windy and mild with plenty of sunshine on this Friday, but gusts over 30 miles an hour possible through about sunset. Temperatures in the low 50s. Overnight will fall back down to the low 30s with mostly cloudy skies and still brisk start to the day. Staying in the low to mid 30s all day on Saturday. Wind chills around 20, along with a few flurries by the afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
We're getting ready for the biggest game of pond hockey in history. You're listening to a special edition of Inside Edge, live from the Horseshoe.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida.
Pond hockey. That's exactly what it is. The pond looks great here at Ohio Stadium as they are getting it ready right now for the Detroit Red Wings practice. Bob McElligott and Dylan Tyrer back with you on the special edition of the Inside Edge. A huge game tomorrow between these two teams, and you alluded to that in the first segment, Dylan. And the Blue Jackets made it even bigger for them by getting the win in Detroit last night. A must-win game. They did do it. They got it done for the Red Wings. I'm sure that they are not happy. I know their coach isn't happy with the way they played last night, and it's a big challenge game for them to rebound tomorrow.
It was always going to be a big game, right? Like it's an outdoor game. It's the first in the history of the Blue Jackets franchise, and it's the first outdoor game in the history of this historic Ohio Stadium. But the way the Blue Jackets won, and the fact that they won, first of all, the fact that they won that game is massive because it sets up a win and you're in the first wild card spot in the East tomorrow night. The way that they did it really upset the Red Wings. The Blue Jackets won that game by a final score of 5-2. I think maybe the most impressive part of that win was the way the Blue Jackets shut things down in the third period. You think that Detroit's going to come out with a massive push. It was 4-2, and then in those final 20 minutes, the Blue Jackets really locked it down. Kirill Marchenko scores that empty net goal. It was a beauty of an empty netter, by the way, laying out, and he pool cued it into the empty net there to secure that Blue Jackets win. But Todd McElligott after challenged his team. He wasn't happy with his captain, Dylan Larkin. So I would fully expect to be for this Red Wings team to be locked in tomorrow night. It's a big response, and it's the same thing. Had the Blue Jackets lost that game in Detroit, this Stadium Series game becomes must-win for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think the Red Wings have to look at that the exact same way. So the Blue Jackets have to be ready for the Red Wings' best tomorrow night, because this game means everything for both of these franchises. You need these points if you want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that both teams will be saying this is the biggest game of the year to this point. There's no question about that. When you talk about locking down in the third period, the thing the Blue Jackets did so well last night, it's not just the defensemen that are getting it done, but those guys are a pretty big part of it, and this guy's been a big part of the defense all year long. Right now, let's hear from Blue Jackets defenseman Ivan Provorov.
Going into this game, it was always going to be a big game. There was always going to be lots of fanfare, but the fact that you guys are right in the heart of the race, and frankly, the winner of this game will be in the first wild card spot in the East. Mm-hmm. What does it mean now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's been a tight playoff race for a while now, and obviously to play a team that we played last night and to see them again tomorrow is very exciting. We're battling for the playoffs, and it would be no better feeling than beating a team down the road.
All right. Tons of anticipation going into this game. Now that you've had the chance to see the ice and see what this thing's all about, what are your feelings now?
To have a game here, in Columbus in front of our fans is going to be something special. Also being able to, have family and friends at this event is, something that everyone's going to remember, their whole life.
Is there maybe a common theme about these games that ties them all together, that makes them enjoyable to you?
Brings back memories when you were a kid playing outside, having fun. So this is kind of the same thing. You play in the NHL, get to do what you love for a living, and, you also get to experience the same memories that, you had when you were a child, playing outside with your buddies and friends, and, just an amazing experience overall.
What about that walk down the tunnel here? That's a very hallowed thing, I think. In Columbus, around the state of Ohio, you guys get to do it in hockey gear and skates tomorrow. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a bit of a longer walk than we're used to, but obviously that's the time you used to kind of soak everything in and feel the energy of the stadium and the fans, and use it to our advantage.
You have the unique opportunity of having played in a few different types of venue. You've got a football stadium here, so what are maybe some of the challenges that come with that? The sight lines, the lights, that sort of thing?
Obviously, the lights, and depends how dark it is, and I mean, obviously the stands are a little bit further apart, so it might take a little bit to get used to for some of the guys, but hopefully we can get all that stuff out of the way in practice today.
It's not often that games this early in the season, I know we're late, but we're still early, if you know what I mean. It's not April. It's not the final weeks of the regular season. But this game means a lot. You're a veteran of this league. You've played in games like this one before. What does it mean to have this happen so early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it's been kind of a playoff mode for us since the season started. Obviously, the team's been through a lot, and every day we're growing. Every day we're battling and playing for each other, and honestly, we're used to this. So whether it started for some teams, starts for some teams like 2 weeks before the playoff starts, or something like that, or like us, kind of battling all year. I think overall as a team we're comfortable in this position, and we're just going to continue to do the same thing, work hard, and go at it.
It's not often in the regular season that you play teams back-to-back. You guys win a big one at their place last night. Now you got to do it again in front of a huge crowd outdoors at Ohio Stadium. What is the mindset?
Just go out there and, kind of try to do the same thing, have a good start, play our game, be smart, be physical, and, just kind of, don't give them any time and space, and just, control the pace of the game.
All right, Proby, thanks for this. Have lots of fun. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Ivan Provorov, Blue Jackets defenseman, one of the veterans of outdoor games, as you talk to him about, Dylan. And, I'm sure he'll have some words of wisdom, or already has, for some of his fellow defensemen especially.
Yeah, I think the number one thing these guys talk about doesn't even have to do with the game itself. It's soak it all in and enjoy it with your family, which we just got to see the Blue Jackets do when they got done with their practice, maybe focusing on some of those different things, the sight lines, the lights, the reflection of the ice, the actual ice itself. They got to be out there with their families, invite them on the ice, skate around, the kids, the girlfriends, the wives, the parents, which was really cool to see, and that's a big part of it. And now that that's out of the way for the Blue Jackets, I think it's time to lock in. And Provorov talked about that there, that this is a really unique thing where there's always going to be fanfare and excitement from some of the extracurriculars around games like these. It's not always that you're focused on, hey, this is a big game when it comes to the playoffs, but the Blue Jackets have had that approach all season long, right? And he said that this team has been in that playoff mindset for a while because they've had to be. Everybody knows how this year started for the Blue Jackets. They got through that as a team. They've seemingly just gotten stronger as the season's gone on. I think last night was a real test and a true testament to that this team takes it one game at a time. They had this game coming up on the horizon, the Stadium Series. They didn't overlook that matchup last night in Detroit. In fact, they approached it how they have every other game. They hammered the Red Wings, and now they take that mindset into round 2 against Detroit.
Tomorrow, Blue Jackets and Detroit Red Wings here at Ohio Stadium. They're taking it outside for a game that gets underway at 6 o'clock, and that we will have for you right here on The Fan. We've got more coming up on this show. We're going to talk to another Blue Jackets defenseman as we continue on this special edition of the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on Post cereal or Kroger brand peanut butter. Select varieties are only $1.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Concerned about your investment's rate of return? Let us show you exactly how your portfolio is performing. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
The Stadium Series is coming, and we're ready with 5 hours of pregame. Join Baker, Reeser, Tyvis, Rothman, and Jeff Rimmer as they get you ready for Jackets hockey at the Shoe.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida.
Saturday at 8 on The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and I'm excited to introduce GoGermain.com, the easiest way to shop for your next vehicle. At GoGermain.com, you can browse the area's largest inventory of over 5,000 vehicles from the comfort of your home. Find your perfect vehicle, customize your deal, and either see it in person at one of our 12 Columbus locations or complete your purchase 100% online at GoGermain.com. Plus, with our $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a car for less. Visit GoGermain.com and discover why Germain is more than a name.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
We're getting ready for outdoor hockey. This is a special edition of Inside Edge, live from the Shoe.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida.
Here at Ohio Stadium, the Detroit Red Wings are starting their practice right now. Red Wings traveled in earlier today. They're practicing this evening. That's something else that is different here too, Dylan, because normally on a practice day, you have your practice at 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning. You come in early, you do what work you have to do, you have your practice, you go and you have your workout, and then you're done for the day. So this is a little bit different. It's not quite like playing 3 games in a row at night, but your practice being at night is just a little tweak.
And some of the chatter down around the ice when the Blue Jackets were skating was, man, why didn't the Blue Jackets practice second so they could be under the ice and have the advantage of seeing what it's like, or under the lights, I should say. And that's not how it works in the NHL, right? The home team's got to go out there first.
Well, yeah, but you think there's an option. Sometimes there's an option.
Sometimes, but who knows how it all worked out
you know
this
what?
time.
Now you can have your practice in a lot of families here, so you can go and you have your dinner.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But hey, I mean, sometimes the visiting team wouldn't even practice on a day like this, because you think about it, they played last night, maybe they would take the day off and then do a morning skate the next day. But the way this all shakes out, the Red Wings are right back on the ice, and hey, we talked about it earlier. They got to get in the right mindset. They got to get ready for tomorrow after the whooping yesterday.
Yeah, and you have no choice. Like, you're not going to just have an optional skate. You're going to skate in this one today. Well, I'll tell you something. It's not just the game. When the NHL puts on the Stadium Series, it's not just the game. It is everything around the game. It's the pregame festivities. It is the pep rally that's going to happen at St. John Arena before the Blue Jackets walk over here to the stadium, much like the Buckeyes do during the football season. It's about 21 Pilots doing a show during the first intermission. So lots of stuff going on. And Dante Fabro wishes he would get to see some of that, but unfortunately he's got to play in the game and be locked in the entire time. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because I know that he's very locked in on winning this game for the Blue Jackets tomorrow against the Red Wings. Dylan had a chance to catch up with the Blue Jackets defenseman Dante Fabro a little bit earlier today.
Now that you've had the opportunity to check out the ice, what the heck do you think of this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the opportunity to obviously do a couple of these before, and every city and has their own kind of twist to it. So it's cool to come here to the Shoe and get to see the setup of everything, and where the band is, and obviously the ice sheet and everything. So it looks like they got some reflectors on the ice right now to keep the sun away. But yeah, I think it's just an exciting time for all of us and the families, and I think the city of Columbus as well.
The sheer size of the venue, what are your first thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously massive. I wasn't expecting it to be this big, obviously in person, and yeah, it's just it's a cool feeling to be able to walk out there, and I'm just excited to see it full, obviously, tomorrow, and see a bunch of screaming Columbus fans. So again, I think you got to treat it like any other day, but obviously there's a heightened excitement to this kind of game, and just the amount of people you're playing in front of, and obviously being on home soil too. So it's just a lot of excitement around this.
There's all that, but there's also the fact that the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference is on the line. You guys win a huge game last night in Detroit. So what's kind of the mindset now going into this one? Because there is so much more to play for than simply the fanfare.
Yeah, we had a goal in mind going into Detroit, obviously, to get 2 points and put us in a good spot, obviously, leading into this game. And I felt we've done a good job so far, kind of taking it game by game. And it seems to be, the character of our group, throughout this season so far, of responding in those big games and figuring out ways to win. And so nothing changes tomorrow. Just looking forward to putting our best effort out there and putting on a show for the fans and in the city of Columbus. And like I said, you can't look too far ahead. Obviously, it's a huge game for both teams tomorrow, and I expect a war out there. So it's just it'll be a tough one, and I think everyone knows that, but we're excited for it.
You can feel the excitement around the team. Everybody wants to go out there and see the ice, put on the gear. What's the chatter been like amongst you guys in anticipation of this game?
Yeah, I like you said, I think it's just excitement. You see now all the guys are running out to the ice to go check it out and get the lay of the land of everything. And so as soon as that kind of settles in and we kind of get normalized to everything, the focus is, winning tomorrow. And, that's always been our focus all year, throughout our schedule, no matter how hard or whatever has been thrown our way. So it's just another great test for us tomorrow against a really good hockey team. And like you said, it's the first kind of wild card spot is on the line here. And it's gonna be a great game.
You've played outside like this in the NHL twice before. So what are some of the things that you maybe have to think about or be cognizant of going into the game in terms of the environment, the ice, that sort of thing?
I think definitely, early in the game, the glare of the sun, and it can be pretty drastic out there, depending, on which end you're starting in and whatnot. So again, if you get the fortunate side of not being kind of more in the shade, then shoot a lot of pucks. So it might be tough for the goalie to see sometimes. But I think the biggest thing is just soak it up and enjoy the moment. It's a lot of fun. It's everyone has their families here, and it's such a big event and great event, obviously, that the NHL does. And just fortunate enough to obviously this be my third time doing it, and looking for a win.
What were your favorite parts of the previous two experiences? Like, is there a common thread that ties these games together in your mind?
Yeah, I think just the overall event, having the bands come in and getting to play. Not that we get to see a lot of that stuff, but I think it's just it's such a family and friend and fan kind of oriented event, and to see them after the games and stuff like that, even before the games, just how excited they are and all of us, and kind of goes hand in hand. It's tough when your main focus is trying to win a hockey game. Obviously, you'd like to go out and enjoy everything, but we got a job to do, and so that's kind of it. But yeah, I think just overall the bands and everything. I love music, and I love listening to music, so would love to see them play and perform, but obviously it's not part of the deal.
All right, Dante, thanks for this. Have a lot of fun out there and get a win tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Could you imagine Dante making his way down the ramp and just kicking back while 21 Pilots is playing? You think Dean Evison would be all up for that tomorrow?
I would be up for it. I think it would be awesome to see. It would be very, very humorous. I do not think Dean Evison would be into that, though. Dean, though, does like some of that stuff, right? He talked about his love of theater before the season and in the entertainment world. But no, I think the Blue Jackets want to be dialed in on the game in this one rather than the music. You can watch everything back recorded, right?
Right. And, they will be dialed in. There's no doubt about it. Dante Fabro, he's been dialed in ever since he's been here. What did he would have played, at the Cotton Bowl and at Nissan Stadium there in Nashville?
That is correct. Yeah, he played. The Cotton Bowl is the really big one for him that he's talked about playing in those environments. And it's another football stadium here for him. But I just thought that was crazy to hear him say that, he even walked in here today and was wowed by the sheer size of it. You think about a venue like the Cotton Bowl or some of those other places. And I believe he had the opportunity to play outdoors in college, too. A few guys have done that for the Blue Jackets, the Frozen Fenway experience. I know Zach Aston Reese played in that, but, it's I told you right off the top, like, these guys are little kids when they come in here. They're like, oh, my God, this is going to be so cool. And, hey, I'm a little kid, too.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think we're all on the same page with this. So it is a special edition of the Inside Edge. We're coming to you live from Ohio Stadium tomorrow night. The Blue Jackets and the Red Wings go head-to-head here to determine who's going to lead the wild card race in the Eastern Conference of the National Hockey League. Coming up next, we're going to talk to a hometown boy, Sean Corrali. He's been to this stadium, well, not a million times, but figuratively a million times in his life. But this one will be the most special. I'll talk with him as we continue here on the Inside Edge on 97.1 The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Winter's here, and as the snow begins to pile up outside, you might find yourself dreaming of warmer days, sunshine, barbecues, fishing, maybe even thinking about those home projects you've been putting off for forever. Why wait for spring to start planning? Now's the perfect time to get ahead. With so many roofing, gutter, and siding companies out there, it can feel overwhelming to know where to begin. With over 30 years of experience and a focus on every detail, Newman Roofing makes it simple. As a family-owned business, they're dedicated to delivering an outstanding customer experience from your first phone call all the way through to the final touches on your home. When it comes to roofing, gutters, and siding, trust the name that's been a local favorite for decades, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Nonstop flights from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 4/24/2025 for travel between 3/13/2025 and 8/17/2025. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Let me introduce y'all to my canes. We got chicken fingers. They hit the spot, baby. Fries are golden crispy, Texas toast crunchy, and they cane sauce creamy rich. One love.
Morning Juice.
When no one can make a basket, you can't put the biscuit in the basket. That's no good for anybody.
The best part about the biscuit, Bob, is the biscuit.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Getting started in hockey has never been easier. The Blue Jackets Learn to Play program, presented by Performance Columbus in association with Moo Express Car Wash and Kroger, is an introductory ice hockey program for boys and girls ages 4 to 10. Classes are held year-round at the Ohio Health Chiller Ice Rinks. Registration includes age-appropriate instruction and head-to-toe equipment, yours to keep. Hockey starts here at bluejackets.com/learn-to-play.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Fire the cannon. This is a special edition of Inside Edge, live from Ohio Stadium.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida.
Well, the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings are getting set for this historic game tomorrow here at Ohio Stadium. Sean Corrali grew up in Columbus. He's been at Ohio Stadium tons of times. He's been here as a football fan. He knows what it means to be a Buckeye, and he couldn't be more thrilled to play in this game tomorrow night. I had a chance to catch up with Sean earlier today.
Here you are at Ohio Stadium, a place you've been many times in your life, but this time is so much different. What's this whole experience like for a kid that grew up in Columbus and went to Buckeyes games, and now you're going to play in this atmosphere?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. I'm just trying to enjoy it. And I walked out on the field, and it's a beautiful day. And there's a few of the AAA teams out there, and I would have been in the same spot they were if I was that age, doing the same thing, or just being stand-ins for whatever needs to be done around here, and just any way they can to get close to it. So, it just makes you realize that we're pretty lucky to be doing this, and for the stars to align and me to be here at this time doing this, I'm pretty excited.
Did you ever think about this? I mean, at any point in your NHL career, did you ever wonder if you'd get a chance to play in this stadium?
No. You know what? I mean, you think about playoff Stanley Cup, but this is one that kind of just, you kind of, for whatever reason, just you don't think about. I mean, it's such a niche little event that, you kind of just got to get lucky to be a part of it. And there's so many things that got to go right timing-wise to make it all work. And luckily it has. But, that's what I think is special about this. It's just kind of like a cherry on top of the whole experience, and get to share it with 90,000, mostly Blue Jacket fans, and can't wait for that.
I saw you earlier carrying a football when you went outside, and I thought, well, that's pretty apropos right there.
Yeah. I always loved watching the Buckeyes, and always, dreamed about playing football. Those cards weren't in my deck, but some other good ones were. So we'll take that and enjoy it, and I can keep enjoying watching Buckeye football and keep playing hockey.
When you walked down that ramp and got down to the field and looked at that cavernous stadium with a rink in the middle of it, what's the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, I think the first thing, honestly, that went through my mind is this what it feels like to be a Buckeye on Saturday, and you get the chance to do it with a stadium full of people tomorrow. I think that's kind of a cool parallel that not many people are going to be able to get to do. So just going to enjoy that, and man, it's going to be a pretty surreal experience coming out of the tunnel with that that in mind, and all the games I've seen here and on TV, and all the Saturdays I've been cheering for these guys. It'll be cool to be a part of.
You guys have done such a good job at keeping your focus, because this has been on the calendar, and every day that goes by, it gets closer. Coming out of the break last Saturday, you can see it, right? You see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know this game's coming up, but you've done such a great job as a group of focusing on the task at hand. How have you guys done it?
I think the main focus for us, I was trying to think about this the other day because I got asked this question. I think we've just been focused so much on having fun and enjoying it that it's funny when you do that sort of thing.
When you do that sort of thing.
Yeah. When you focus on just enjoying it and having fun, it seems like you get a little extra boost of energy. You're having fun, and not on the radio over here.
Sorry, didn't hear you there.
It's just been about
that's right.
It's been about enjoying it and having fun. You seem to first of all, it's a more enjoyable way to go about it, and second of all, it seemed to we've been getting some results, and that's been good, and that's been fun, and I think either way it's gone for us. We try to just get back to enjoying it and realizing this is a cool thing to be a part of, and we're feel like we're riding the wave and just stay on it.
I guess it shouldn't be a surprise because this has just really been what you guys have kind of done all year long. There's been a plan. Sometimes it goes the way you want it to, sometimes it doesn't. You haven't gotten knocked off track. You just stayed with everything.
Right, and I've also thought back to the last few years is I don't know necessarily. I think we were doing some good things the past 3 years of building to this point that weren't necessarily showing up in results. But internally, I think you're kind of wondering why it was like it was, because there was some good stuff going on, especially within the locker room and with the group of guys. So to finally be there and enjoying some of that, it's just, I think you can see it's things are making a lot more sense to the team and the guys, and you can feel a little bit of the relief off guys' shoulders, and it's kind of reminded us what this is all about and what it can be and how fun it can be and what it is like when we're all doing our part.
I'm watching the game last night, and I'm watching you get 1 goal and almost get 2 goals. And I was thinking about a conversation you and I had previous to a game in Calgary months ago, when at that time your ice time wasn't what you were used to, and your role, you were kind of trying to figure things out a little bit, where you were fitting in. And it's so funny. I was thinking about it because you have been so good. You and your line mates have just been great here, especially as of late and right down the stretch. And I mean, this is your kind of time. I mean, you're that kind of guy. The playoffs are coming. You guys can see it, and you're just trying to will your team to it, aren't you?
Well, I think, like you said, at this time of year, it's especially, it gets a little more fun, and you're kind of, the team is coming together. Things are falling in place, and we've been in situations where we've had some guys out for extended periods of time, and things are changing, and guys are coming from Cleveland, and we get new guys from here or there, and I think it gets to a point where you're just like, that's kind of what it is right now, and that's how I can help this team in this situation in this season, and let's take the best crack at it we possibly can, and just let the chips fall where they may. It takes a little bit maybe to get your head around to it, but it's been, I think it's, like I said earlier, it's more fun that way, and I've been enjoying that piece of it, and had some really, good help from line mates along the way, and plan on continuing to do so and taking pride in whoever's there. We can make the best of it.
Hey, and let's not forget, this game is going to be a lot of fun because of the setting, but this game is huge, again, just like the one that you guys won last night, isn't it?
Huge. We were talking to some of the guys, big win in Detroit, and unfortunately and fortunately, it doesn't matter unless we do it again on Saturday. So cool thing to be a part of, and cool situation, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
Sean, let that inner Buckeye out in this game. Enjoy every moment of it, and best of luck to you.
Can't wait. OH.
Sean Corrali, having fun there. Matthew Olivier cutting his stick and interrupting the whole interview. That's the kind you were talking about this, though, earlier, Dylan. That's kind of fun and mindset these guys are in right now.
You are so right about that they were just giddy in that room beforehand. All those guys were cutting those sticks, those special sticks, by the way, that looked like they were wooden, old school throwback sticks, which I thought was a really nice touch. But the vibes in that room were good, of course. They're going to be good no matter where the Blue Jackets are playing after that win against Detroit. 3 straight for the Blue Jackets now, but you can feel it. Those guys were so childlike in that room after seeing the ice, and you can only imagine that when they got on the ice, it was even better. We watched the Blue Jackets practice. They had a good, quick skate out there and then welcomed the families on the ice. Really a perfect day here at Ohio Stadium. I don't think you could draw it up any better if you're a Blue Jacket.
No, I totally agree with you. Speaking of ice, we've got another entire hour of this show coming up. We're going to talk about the ice here and about the building of this rink. Derek King from the National Hockey League. I had a chance to catch up with him when he first came to town, and they started putting all of this stuff together. We will hear from him. Nadine Muzerall, who is the head coach of the Ohio State women's hockey team, Stadium, is going to talk to us about how excited that she and her family are for this game between the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings coming up here at Ohio Stadium. Ted Carter, the president of The Ohio State University, is involved in another outdoor game. We'll tell you about that in the next hour as well. So it's like we just can't get enough right now, Dylan.
Oh, my goodness. We have so much to go over as this show continues on. We've got the Ohio State angle, like you said. It's something that we haven't talked about a whole lot yet because we've been so focused on the Blue Jackets, so focused on the Red Wings. But Ohio State is a big part of this as well. The Ohio State women's hockey team going to be honored in all this thing. The football team going to be honored in all this thing. And they are playing in the Ohio State football stadium after all. That's the Blue Jackets dressing room, is the Buckeye locker room, which I know guys are fired up about. So it's only right that we get the Ohio State angle on all this thing, which we'll actually have more of tomorrow as well.
Yeah, probably the biggest difference in that locker room between football and hockey is there is no power saw during the football season, I would imagine. Inside.
A little bit more space in that room, too.
Sometimes they go through teams like buzzsaws, but there's not actually one in the dressing room during the football season. All right, yeah, we've got much more of this special edition of the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank coming up from here at Ohio Stadium. Bob McElligott and Dylan Tyrer with you right here on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
It's our President's Day sales event all month long.
This event is big. You choose your rate. 0%, 1.9%, 2.9%, and up to a full 60 months on so many new Lindsay Hondas. And no trade-in required. This deal works with zero down. 2025 CRVs and Ridgelines. Both only $299 a month. That's $299 a month. Visit LindsayHonda.com because this February is the time to
keep more presidents in your wallet with Lindsay Honda.
See LindsayHonda.com for details.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And free fitness training to help you mix up your routine. Plus, most clubs are open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends February 28th. See Home Club for details.
Uline is expanding in Ohio with a 1.4 million square foot building, and they're looking for exceptional people to get this location up and running. The company has seen decades of growth, creating a stable work environment employees can count on. Warehouse workers earn pay starting from $25 an hour, plus substantial bonus programs and great benefits. They also offer multiple shifts and schedules to fit your life. Check out current Aetna job opportunities at uline.jobs/Ohio.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 4/24/2025 for travel between 3/13/2025 and 8/17/2025. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus, The Fan. We're getting ready for the biggest game of pond hockey in history. You're listening to a special edition of Inside Edge, live from the Horseshoe.
Sponsored by Visit Central Florida.
Welcome back to the second hour of this special edition of the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. Bob McElligott and Dylan Tyrer with you from Ohio Stadium, where tomorrow the Blue Jackets will make history. For the first time, they will play outside, taking on the Detroit Red Wings in the NHL's Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series. And I'll tell you, Dylan, we talked about this in the first hour. You heard from the players, the excitement that they have. This is absolutely going to be a spectacle. And again, as we talked about in the first hour, the implications of this game, the 2 points mean so much, especially after the Blue Jackets went to Detroit and got that win last night.
Yeah, really. It doesn't get much better than this, does it? Like, this game means everything. Without the playoff implications, without the race as it is right now, it would still be a lot of fun. I mean, you're playing outside, you're playing in front of 90-plus thousand people. It's likely going to be the second largest outdoor game ever. And on top of that, everything that's going to be happening in the stadium during the game, leading up to the game, throughout the intermissions. I think the NHL has plans to really keep this thing moving all night long. Like, there's not going to be a lull. I know it's a bit of hyperbole, but Steve Mayer has talked about it, and if you don't know who he is, he's the guy that's putting all this on for the league, and every time he's talked about this game, he says this is going to be the greatest outdoor game the NHL has ever put on, and I kind of believe him because of the scale of the venue, the musical acts that will be performing before the game and during the game. And then, of course, the implications, I think, mean a lot in terms of the excitement building into it. Like, I know that we are here in Columbus, so it feels a little bit bigger, but you think about the momentum coming from the Four Nations face-off. You think about the season that Zach Werenski has had for the Blue Jackets. You think about the fact that the Blue Jackets have won 3 straight games coming into this one, 2 of those being against playoff teams. Dallas, one of the better teams in the Western Conference. That huge game in Detroit. You know, the fact that the Blue Jackets won that game in Detroit means everything, because now the first wild card spot in the East is on the line tomorrow night at the Shoe. And I mean, it's going to be really, really good. So I feel like in this market, it feels like this game in hockey right now is just it's building. There's so much momentum, and this game means everything. Like, I'm listening to media talking about the game earlier today, and it's all over every show in Columbus right now, it's just awesome to hear, and it gets me that much more excited to see what's going on.
And it was really fun to watch this stadium transform from a football stadium into a hockey stadium, as we're looking at right now, and what we're going to see here tomorrow, what you're going to see tomorrow if you're here at the Stadium Series game. I was fortunate enough to come over here at the beginning of this entire process, and when I did, I caught up with the Senior Director of Hockey Operations and Facilities Operation for the National Hockey League. That's a big, 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 long title. But I'll tell you, Derek King is his name, and Derek and his crew, they travel all around. They do this. They take this rink set up everywhere that there's an outdoor game being put on by the NHL. They deal with the venue. They put up the rink. They make sure that everything is perfect. And when I talked to Derek, the first thing I asked him is, how many of these outdoor games have you been involved in?
We were talking about that the other night, kind of getting a list. I think this is my 29th outdoor game. Yeah, 29 or 30. So it's been quite a few.
So over the course of how many years is that 29?
So I started, my first outdoor game was 2011 in Calgary. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. From 2011 to 2025, how much has the technology itself changed to make these builds, I'm assuming, a little bit easier than they used to be?
Yeah, everything from the floor that we use, the decking, to the components of the refrigeration truck. We're always looking for new ideas to make our job easier. So, we've definitely made mistakes over the years, but we learn from those mistakes. So, quite a bit. We've got, the smaller ice resurfacers, so less weight on the sheet. Different technology on the truck, from how we monitor the ice temperatures or the glycol temperature coming to the floor, our surface temperatures. So there's always stuff coming out that we're always willing to use, and if we find something that works for us, we definitely stick with it.
It's funny when you talk about all that stuff and all that terminology. What was going through my mind is, I'm sitting in high school in a science class, and I'm thinking, I'm never going to use any of this. Right. And I certainly wouldn't use it in hockey, but you guys use it every day, don't you?
Every day, especially now once we get everything connected and we fill the system with glycol, and we're watching the pressures on the floor, we're watching the temperatures, you want to dial it in. And like I said earlier, this is, the later we get into the season, it's an important game for both teams. 2 points is on the line, and we're later into the season for playoffs, so we want to kind of replicate the conditions that we can out here, just like they have in nationwide. So it's tough with Mother Nature. Obviously, we can't control air or humidity, but on that sheet, we give the players the best possible sheet that we can.
You come in about a week before the game and start to build the rink, and actually, when you come in, it's in the 20s and in the low 20s for the entire week.
It's warm here.
It might be
warm.
It could be tomorrow.
Yeah.
You never know. That's the best and the worst thing about it here. But let me ask you this: does that help to come in and do a setup when you have the lower temperatures?
It's we've kind of seen it all. So for us right now, this is fine. Once we get closer into the game days, that's where we're really going to start watching, the weather, the long range forecast. Once we start making ice Friday, like I said earlier, we'll just adapt. So if we do get sun during the day, sheet will be covered, uncover it. The last few events, our night crew, those have been the guys that have put it all together for us, that have made the ice, just because we've had, a lot of sunny days in Chicago and stuff like that. So our night crew, they pull the long hours. And then as we get closer to game day, we'll watch those forecasts. And, if, like I said, if we can be in the, 30, 32 air temp outside, I think that would be ideal for us. And if it were cloudy during the day, that'd be great. Sheet will be exposed. Just gives us that little bit more time to dial everything in for game time.
Well, I'm sure you've looked at the weather here, and although it can change all the time, cloudy is usually a pretty good bet at this time of year.
Yeah, and that's fine with us. That we like to be if we can get ahead of schedule. For us, that's great. It kind of gives us a little bit of breathing room and just lets us prepare a little bit better for the game.
You talked about watching the forecast, and what do you do with that? Is there a weather service that you use? Do you look at the local forecast? Do you deal with somebody locally? And how much do you trust those guys?
Well, we pay close attention to it. We know it's going to change. We have a weather service that we use for all of our events. We kind of stick with that, and we know it's going to change. So you get up in the morning, you see what it is. You kind of prepare for what you're being told, and we have a good crew of guys, so everyone knows that if something's going to change, if we have to move snow, we'll move snow, and if we got to move water, we'll move water. And we're always prepared, and we'll always get it done.
With Derek King from the NHL in here to build the rink for the Stadium Series game. You've been in a lot of stadiums, as you said earlier. You've been doing this for a long time. What were your thoughts when you walked into Ohio Stadium and looked at this particular venue?
It's kind of starstruck walking in. It's a beautiful facility. It's open. It's just you've heard a lot about Ohio State in the past, and we've got Ian from Columbus. He's helping us out here, so he's kind of filled us in with everything about Columbus and the Buckeyes. So it's pretty cool. It's a great environment, and the people have been great. I'm kind of looking forward to having some downtime after this and spending some time in Columbus. So,
when you're working with a stadium that is 102 years old, I think this one is now, does that present any other challenges? Because you've worked in some more modern facilities. I don't know if you have to run pipes further or things like that.
No, for us, the pipe, our setup, our pipe run where we park the trucks, it might be a little further. We've got a little bit of a scaffold build just of how we get into the stadium, but working with the OSU crew here, they've been great. They've been able to help us, find our water locations. They know what we need for our services, for a cold water, hot water, for the ice build and stuff on game day. So you just adapt. You do what you need to do when you're in these facilities.
Do you and your crew get to enjoy the games at all, or you're working the whole time?
Yeah, it's a lot of hours. We don't watch hockey like I think the average fan does. We're looking for different stuff, how the ice is holding up, bounces off the boards, bounces off the glass.
Panic every time the linesman's patching a hole.
Right. Well, that's what we definitely don't want to see on game day. So that's kind of our goal going in. But I think more it's after the game we kind of have that. I guess that sigh of relief that it's over. We've gotten through the game. So there's just a lot of excitement. leading up to that game day.
Earlier, you mentioned how important the game is because of the time of the season and the points on the line, and that is one of the most important things, right? The last thing that you ever want is the players coming away and saying, man, if we would have been playing that game in our own building, maybe it would have been different. Or, man, if we didn't have to deal with this condition, maybe it would have been different. You don't want either team to ever walk away saying that.
No, you definitely don't, and that's why we pay close attention to those conditions out there for the players. So everything from the boards to the glass is the exact same thing they would see in Nationwide Arena or any NHL facility. And we know there's certain things out of our control, the weather, but what we can control, our prep, our temperatures with the glycol. If we need to cool the sheet down, we can cool it down. If we need to warm it up, we'll warm it up. So for us, it's paying close attention to those finer details, and then that's what we're here to do. So we kind of want to take that out of the players' minds that we're going to give them the best sheet possible.
There are many of our players that have never been to an outdoor game, played in an outdoor game, certainly not one of this magnitude. And for the fans that are coming here and going to their first ever outdoor game, as a guy that's inside the building all the time, and I know you're watching what's going on with the ice, but you're here, you're part of it, you're part of the show in some way. What would you tell somebody that's coming for the very first time what to expect as far as just the experience?
The experience is going to be amazing. Like, if I were able to come as a fan, just enjoy it. Like, just take it all in. These outdoor events, everything from obviously the game to the entertainment spectacle. It's just amazing, and it's just you see all the hours people put in the show. Just enjoy it. Just take it all in.
So when the game's over, this rink's going to stay up for a short time before you take it down, right?
Yeah, I think we have, we always hold a weather day.